What's up, everybody? It's Avcami. Today, it is 6 a.m. at Spa, and we're going to do episode 4 of Cruising and Talking. Today, I wanted to talk about something that is very important, at least to me. It's kind of my code of driving, I guess you could say. It's not necessarily about racing. It's not about driving on a track, although some aspects of it could be used on a track. But it's more about the safety and well-being of other people. People are just driving through, swerving through traffic, and it's just causing too much recklessness, too much danger. And yeah, I understand, you're in a cool car, you want to go fast, it's fun. You want to get to where you're going sooner, or maybe you have a valid reason, maybe you're actually late, but there is no valid reason to put anybody's life in danger. And any good driver will understand that. When we're driving fast, up in the mountains, for example, when there's nobody around, we understand, I'm going off. We understand the dangers that we can put ourselves in. But when you're driving in public, and you're driving fast and recklessly in public, there's too many variables to play with. You can't predict everybody's moves. And throughout driving school, at least for me, different driving schools in different places might teach different things, but mine and people I know, they never taught the ability to think ahead. You learn your signs and the reasons for the signs and speed limits and whatnot, but there's way too many different potentials and outcomes that you gotta look ahead when you're driving fast. If you are the only one driving reckless on the road right now, and there's a bunch of people who are going the speed limit, you can't blame them for things going wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. The problem is too many people are focused on themselves. They don't care about the danger. We know the dangers we have on ourselves, but when we're driving recklessly through traffic, we don't always know the dangers that we can have on other people. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, I don't know them. Why does it matter? And that's just a poor way of thinking. Because there's so many people in this world. There's no reason not to care, have at least a small amount of care for everyone. And if people are good enough citizens to be on the road and in traffic, then they are obviously good enough citizens to be cared for. The problem is, people idolize and see it to be cool to go fast and to not care. And that goes for everything, not just driving. People see the cool people as the ones who don't care necessarily. How do we flip that? Now you're probably like, oh, listen to this guy. Get a load of this guy saying all this, trying to drive safe while he's driving 200 miles an hour on a track. Well, that's the thing, not every place has tracks. Not every town has tracks. My town doesn't have a track. But that doesn't give us the justifiable right to put people at harm. In anything could happen. What if there's gravel on the road you didn't see? Now you swerving out and hit a family of 5. What are you going to do then? Having the trait of being able to look ahead and be adaptable to anything that could happen. What if someone turns in front of you out of nowhere, puts their blinker on at the last second? Now you have to look in your blind spots. Now you have to do all these things to move over to the other lane really quick. Make sure you don't cut somebody off. Make sure you don't spin somebody out accidentally because you don't see them in your blind spot. No, you gotta look. You gotta move. You gotta be there. Just like you are on a track. Just like you do on Forza. You have to focus on the drive. Focus on the car. Know your limits. But I think it's not necessarily a problem of people who don't know how to drive. It's more of a problem of people with entitlement. There will always be someone better than you and worse than you at anything you could possibly do. That doesn't mean to end your motivation to become the best at something. I drive a lot. The past 5 years, I have driven in the past 5 years, I have driven 52,000 miles in real life. 52,000 miles in 5 years. And that's just me just doing whatever, just cruising around. And that's not even counting all the miles that I've driven on Forza. And so that's probably like a good 100,000. And even then, you know, I still have things, I obviously still have things to learn and improve on. But something I've noticed is you can really see people's, not their personality, but their instant response to situations and stresses when it comes to driving. You can really see that in the way they drive. And that, exactly that thing, that little personality, I guess, that you could see from their vehicle movement is what you have to watch out for when you're driving. That is what you have to look out for in every single car that you pass. What is this vehicle's personality? Are they staying consistent? Do they look sketchy? Are they swerving? Is their car smoking? Are they going fast? Are they being reckless? Are they being safe? That's what you have to look at amongst any person you drive past. Because then when you're cruising through traffic, you won't know everything, but you'll have an understanding of where you can put yourself to make sure that everybody, including you, is safe. When we're driving alone up in the mountains, like I said, you know, we know the harms that we could put on ourselves. And that's why some of us, me included, choose to not drive recklessly on the road and in the street and in traffic. Because there's too many people. There's too many potentials that could happen. Most people are just driving their car to get from point A to point B. And sure, you can call them an NPC, you can name them whatever you want, but they're still humans. They're no different than you are. If there's anything I want you to take away from all this, it is to be adaptable. And it is to be courteous. But there's no excuse. Zero excuse to put people in danger. Keep your eyes and your mind open when you're driving. Sometimes I'll be cruising around in traffic with my dog, and people will be pulling up to me in traffic trying to race me. Like, bro, I have my dog. Or sometimes I'll be cruising up on the mountains, and then all of a sudden this car filled with 5 people is just moving. Oh, I think Lewis heard me talking about him. Even if everybody's okay with it, it's like that driver is responsible for the lives of all those people. At this point, like, that driver is their guardian. That's how I look at it, at least. But maybe I'm just thinking too deeply. I always see arguments in comments on like Instagram and other places where people are like, wow, you're swerving through lanes. And then other people are like, don't be so soft. But it's like, it's true. You know, if corners are blind, like look at this corner I'm going around right now. If there was a car coming, I could not see it. So if I'm all the way on the left, the car's going to hit me in the face. And he's not going to see me before it's too late. One of us is crashing. Even if we survive, one of us is crashing. You're not racing. You're on a mountain road in the middle of the night. You have to be safe. You have to be safe. And that's beyond for yourself. You're already driving fast because you're okay with submitting the potential consequences. I like to call it a dance with death. But for you to drive and force that potential of pain upon others is selfish.